He just nailed the best definition of what inflation truly is and why it's so bad.
When I was 20, you didn't have to get a graduate education and live with your parents for 5 years to save for a down payment to buy your first house. That's what you're doing right now. I mean, buying things is so much harder. Why is that? But I would suggest looking at what the central banks of the world have said is their goal. They make it right there out in the open. Their goal is a 2 to 2.5% inflation rate is ideal. What does that mean? Ask yourself what that means. Inflation is better thought of as currency devaluation. Why do they want there to be a year over year 2% loss of the value of the money you have? And why that would be? And you can refer to all kinds of economists that sort of agree with that opinion. But what they're really saying is that as long as you have a low-level inflationary rate or devaluation of your currency, there is going to be an incentive to buy now rather than later. If there's an incentive to buy now, that means you need to take a loan. And when you take a loan, that is going to create, like you said, out of fiat currency, more money in the system. More money in the system drives inflation. So what we have here, this 2% inflation rate, is really a treadmill that we're on that has, a grade upward that you have to climb. You don't see it over 5 or 10 years. But what you said was very, very appropriate, which is, when I was 20, you didn't have to get a graduate education and live with your parents for 5 years to save for a down payment to buy your first house. That's what you're doing right now. I mean, buying things is so much harder. Why is that? We're working way harder than we had to 50 years ago. That should be the evidence that this system is designed to keep us busy and working and laboring. So that's something that is irrefutable.